Welcome back to Tiara Speaks Dog. Today I want to talk about boundaries. Oh boy, boundaries. Boundaries can bring up a negative connotation at times because people associate it with having uncomfortable conversations. It's truly about the relationship, right? It's a thing of what is our relationship like? Now, when I first got into dog training as a teenager, I used to watch The Dog Whisperer on National Geographic Channel with Cesar Millan. One phrase he would always say to the owners was, "You need to establish rules, boundaries, and limitations." And I loved when he would say it, and I knew when he would say it, and he was always right. Dogs need rules, boundaries, and limitations. Well, Tierra, what does that even mean? What does that look like? But after years of working with dogs professionally, I think the better question or train of thought to have is to understand why those things matter. It's because your dog doesn't just learn behaviors and commands, your dog learns how to relate to you. Think about your closest human relationships. You don't have to ask your best friend every single day whether it's okay to text you. You don't renegotiate who drives every time you get in the car. Or do you? I don't know the relationship. But the point is that there are expectations. The relationship itself creates those expectations. And dogs work the same way. You don't wake up, they don't wake up every morning wondering, so are we going to do the leash thing again today? They're constantly learning. Who are you? Who am I? What are our jobs? That's the relationship they're trying to understand. Personally, I think of my dogs as partners in crime. We're a team, but I'm also their guardian, which means there are certain responsibilities that naturally fall on me. Throughout social species, including dogs, leaders tend to do certain things. They claim space, they move others when necessary, they protect vulnerable members, they decide when and where the group moves. They often go through narrow spaces first. They provide access to resources. Now, before anybody start texting me and typing me and calling me and all that stuff, no, I'm not saying your dog thinks you're another dog. What I am saying is that dogs naturally understand movement, access to resources, confidence, and consistency. Those things communicate relationships far better than words ever could. Because here's the problem: you can't sit your dog down at the kitchen table and say, "Okay, sweetie, let's review the expectations of our relationship." What? No. No. Instead, you have to show them every single day. When I'm eating, I expect space. And if I get up from my plate for a minute, I expect you not to help yourself. If another dog comes into my home, they're under my protection too. You don't get to make decisions about how they move and where they go. When we're walking together, I'm perfectly happy if you're ahead of me exploring the environment. But don't you forget that there's a person attached to the other end of that leash. You don't drag me around the neighborhood, and you pay attention because I might have information that matters. None of those expectations happen because I explain them. They happen because I've constantly shown them. I've consistently shown them. Dogs are incredibly good at reading what we repeatedly communicate. In fact, watch dogs communicate with each other sometime. They don't have language. They use posture. They use eye contact, movement, pressure. They point their noses to communicate directions. They'll block another dog's path. They'll lean. They'll freeze. It's almost entirely body language. It's us humans that are the weird ones. We point with our fingers, we wave our arms around, we rely on words. Dogs actually have to learn what all of those strange human signals mean. And one of my favorite examples actually comes from one of my clients. She was like, Tiara, my dog won't let other people come through certain doorways or come into certain rooms of the house. Now think about what's happening right there. That dog wasn't just guarding space. That dog has established rules, boundaries, and limitations for people who come into his house. The humans were asking permission to move through their own house. That's a relationship problem before it's ever an obedience problem. Because somebody has been making decisions, and it isn't the human. So here's a question I'd encourage every dog owner to ask themselves. How do you actually want your dog to relate to you? Not just, do you want them to sit? Do you want them to stay or come? But what role do you want each of you to play? Should your dog trust your decisions? Should they check in with you before making important choices? Should they believe that you'll handle strangers? Should they believe you'll handle other dogs? Should they feel responsible for protecting you? Or should they feel safe because you're consistently protecting them? Every interaction you have with your dog answers those questions. Whether you mean to or not, you're teaching the relationship. And once that relationship is clearly understood, many of the behaviors people struggle with will become much easier to teach. Because expectations stop being something you enforce and start becoming something your dog just understands.